It's time for some postseason baseball. Happy Wednesday, October 6th. Cardinals, Dodgers, wild card game. We're breaking it down from every angle on today's episode of Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome into Locked On Cardinals. I am Lucas Smith. It is Wednesday, October the 6th of 2021. You know what that means? It's time for some postseason baseball. Cardinals, Dodgers, National League wildcard game, win or go home in Dodger Stadium, 7:10 on TBS tonight. I hope you all tune in. We're here on Locked On Cardinals, ready to get you ready for the action tonight. Max Scherzer, Adam Wainwright, storylines galore. Cardinals red hot September, Dodgers red hot the entire year almost, and a strong finish as well for them. This is a marquee matchup. This might not be the rivalry marquee of the Yankees and Red Sox, but this is going to be a good quality game tonight. We're going to see some good pitching, good offenses going at it, great defenses. It's going to be legit. On today's show, breaking down positions, breaking down the offenses for this team, as well as the pitching matchups as well. And then a little clip from the Locked On Now Insider special that aired yesterday, talking about this wildcard game, former infielder Gordon Beckham and Daniela Bruce as well, Locked On Now. I was on the podcast yesterday, so clip from that as well. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen each and every single day, Monday to Friday. I've been happy to bring it to you Monday to Friday. So let's get right into the pitching matchup, because if you're a longtime listener of this show, you know that I like some pitching. I'm a pitching enthusiast, one might say. And we have a good one on the bump tomorrow, or tonight, rather, with the Adam Wainwright going up against Max Scherzer. Couple of old guys, been around the block. One Hall of Famer, maybe two Hall of Famers if you want to try and maneuver your Adam Wainwright into that conversation. Definitely a Cardinal Hall of Famer. Regardless, it's going to be a good one. They both had fine regular seasons. Max Scherzer, obviously a part of the blockbuster deal on the at the trade deadline from Washington to Los Angeles. He went along with Max Scherzer, or along with Trey Turner, rather. Scherzer didn't start the whole year, did have some injury problems, had some struggles down the stretch a little bit, but we've dealt with Mad Max before, and doesn't really ever seem to bother him too much. It's going to be two different styles of pitching. Scherzer is going to be coming right at you. His stuff is electric. He's got an explosive fastball, changeup, slider combo. It's right there. He's a Hall of Fame guy for a reason. He's got the Cy Youngs, as Jeff Snyder said on the podcast yesterday. He's got the Cy Young. He's got the 3,000 strikeouts, got the moments, 20 strikeout game, all of it. It's there because of the explosive stuff. Adam Wainwright's a little more crafty. His stuff isn't as explosive, but that curveball is as good as it ever has been or ever will be, because that curveball is straight filth. Max Scherzer on the season had 15 wins, 4 losses, and 2.46 ERA, 30 games started. So still got to that 30 start mark, 179 total innings, 236 strikeouts, 0.86 ERA. For his career in the postseason, according to MLB.com, he's 7-5 with a 3.38 ERA, 22 games, 18 of those starts. We will be breaking down numbers against the Cardinals specifically in a moment, but as you know, if you listen to this show, you know that I like to break down what they've been up to recently. Max Scherzer ended the 2021 regular season with some clunkers. He had 7 innings of shutout baseball against the Reds on the 18th, but his last two starts, he gave up a total of 10 earned runs in 10 and the third innings pitched, 17 hits, he walked 1 and struck out 10 to Colorado and San Diego. It was at Colorado, so their offense is better in Coors Field than it was against San Diego, who still has a pretty decent offense. So you could either say, hey, he's on a struggle, or he's struggling, so the Cardinals are going to play well against him. Or you could say, well, he's gotten the 2 struggle starts out of the way. Now he's going to go take care of business. However you want to look at it, it's going to happen. And Max Scherzer is going to bring it. However you want to look at it, I still think Max Scherzer is going to bring it. Even though he did struggle a little bit to end the year, he's Max Scherzer. This is postseason baseball. He's facing his hometown team of the St. Louis Cardinals. He's already had a quality start, or a shutdown start against the Cardinals in his most recent start against them earlier this September. He's going to bring it. There's just no question about it. Cardinals send Adam Wainwright to the mound. Career in the postseason, according to MLB.com. 28 games, 15 starts, 4 saves, 109 innings pitched. He's 4-5 with a 2.89 ERA and a WHIP of 1.11. 118 strikeouts in those 109 innings. For the season, 17-7, 3.05 ERA, 32 starts, 206 innings as a 40-year-old. It's remarkable. We are seeing two guys that have been here before, as I mentioned. Max Scherzer has been here. Adam Wainwright has pitched and won a clincher. Scherzer has a World Series ring with the Washington Nationals. These two guys know what they're doing. I expect this, I think everybody else expects this, to be a well-pitching game, a well-pitched game. With any starter, especially with an ace, the key is to get to them early. No question about it. If you get to them early, you have a better chance of winning, because when a starter settles in, it's almost over. When you look at Adam Wainwright's ERA by inning, his worst is the third inning, and so it starts at 2.81 ERA in the first and second, 5.97 in the third, but then there on out, it goes down until you get to the ninth inning, when he only got 2 2/3 of an inning in the ninth inning, giving up 3 earned runs. But his ERA in the fourth, 2.9, fifth, 2.17, sixth, 2.55, seventh, 1.10, 8th, 0. The key, getting him in the first 2 to 3 innings. Otherwise, he's going to settle in, and he is going to shut you down. Those are his numbers this year. Let's take a look at Max Scherzer's splits this season by inning. Sorry, my computer messed up there, but nevertheless, I'll get there in a minute. But Cardinals are going to have to get to Scherzer early, because if you don't get to Scherzer early, might as well just call it. For some reason, MLB.com isn't wanting to show the split stats, and that's okay. Nevertheless, I'll pull it up somewhere else. Get there if you bear with me. Apologies for that. But nevertheless, Adam Wainwright, Max Scherzer is going to be a marquee matchup. I think it's going to be maybe a 4-3, 3-2, 3-1 type ball game. I really do. Both these pitchers have good numbers, both against the opposing teams and this season. For his career against the Cardinals, Max Scherzer is 4-6, 13 games started, but has a 2.76 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, 11.48 Ks per 9. Now you go against the Cardinals in the postseason. He's got one start. He went 7 innings, shutout baseball, walked 2, struck out 11, and that was in the National League Championship Series on October the 12th of 2019. Got the win. He was dominant. So he has success, and that team is different than this Cardinal team. He's still got at least a couple of familiar faces. Max Scherzer has success against the Cardinals. There's just no question about it. When you move now over to Adam Wainwright in his career against the Dodgers, and again, I don't like looking at these to kind of say this is the end-all, be-all, because teams change over the years. But it is interesting to look at what they've done against this team over his career. 17 games, 7-5 is the record for, a 2.66 ERA for Wainwright in his career against the Dodgers. Now let's get that a little smaller. Go Dodgers in the postseason. Got 3 starts, 0-1, 19 in the third innings, 4.19 ERA. What were those starts? One might ask. On the 3rd of October in 2014, in a game that was supposed to be a pitcher's duel, Wainwright gave up 6 earned runs, 4 1/3 innings in Game 1 of the National League Division Series. And then in 2013, in the National League Championship Series, 7 innings, 2 earned, picked up a loss in 2013. And then you got to go all the way back to 2009, in which he went 8 innings, gave up a home run, but that was it, and struck out 7. So more recently, not great numbers against the Dodgers, but that was years ago, but still interesting to look at what Wainwright has done in the postseason against the Los Angeles Dodgers. With Scherzer pitching against the Cardinals, his hometown team, as I mentioned a couple times, Wainwright, 40 years old. This is an old-fashioned matchup, old-fashioned pitching matchup. These two guys are going to get it done, in my opinion. All right, finally have up here for Max Scherzer, his ERA by inning. Apologies for the delay. Delay there. So his ERA by inning. In the first, it's 1.84, third 2.48, third 3.12, 3.10. So you see it gets higher. In the fourth, it's 5.14. But then from the 5th inning on is where he gets dominant. 1.67, 0-8-9, 0-8-2 were in the 5th, 6th, and 7th, 0 in the 8th. So not as drastic maybe in the first, but once you get past the 3rd inning, these two pitchers are very hard to score against. Extremely hard to score against. So the key is get to them in the first 3 innings. How might the Cardinals do that offensively? That is what we're going to be talking about next here on the show. I'm very, as a baseball guy, you've got to be excited about this pitching matchup, or gal. Baseball fan, baseball follower, baseball watcher, this pitching matchup has a lot of intrigue to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. These two guys know exactly what they're doing. They're going to go out there and do their job. That's my prediction. They're going to go out there and absolutely do their job. Take one quick break here on Locked On Cardinals podcast. When we come back, breaking down the offenses. And I was surprised at MLB.com when they did a position-by-position breakdown that a few went the Cardinals' way that I wasn't so sure that they would do. But we'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment. Our title sponsor today is Green Room. Green Room is the first social audio platform made for sports fans. It is free to download, and once you're in, you can talk with fans, athletes, and insiders in real time about your team or sport. It is the perfect place to start or join a conversation. You'll find fans just like yourself on Green Room for watch parties, debates, post-game breakdowns, and of course, reacting to big news or rumors. You can even find Locked On hosts across MLB, NBA, and NHL. So go download the free Green Room app now, currently available on all iOS devices. Be sure to create a profile, link your Twitter, follow me at LJ Fastball, and join the group MLB for the latest league updates. Download the Green Room app today. Green Room, changing the way we talk sports. Football season is back. All eyes, or most eyes anyways, are on the gridiron as teams are pretty much in the thick of things now in the NBA or NFL and college football. And the number one spot to get your betting action is BetOnline. They have a new updated site and interface. That means more odds, props, and contests, more ways for you to win some money. BetOnline continues to be the number one source for everything football. Head to the website, betonline.ag today, or use your mobile device and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit by entering the promo code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON. Get you a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit when signing up. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, boxing, or your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. And now you might be wondering what the Cardinals line is against the Dodgers at BetOnline. Dodgers are favored by a 1.5. Money line is negative 225 for the Dodgers. Over/under set at 7.5. I would take the under, but you can go to BetOnline, make any bet you want. It's the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline is where the game starts. Offensively speaking, the Dodgers might, on paper, or might to the naked eye, have the edge. They have probably on paper the better team, and I understand that. But we still have got to play the game for a reason. On one-game playoff, anything can happen. Anything. This is an abnormality almost in baseball because everything is in a series. 3-game series on a weekend, 4-game series in the midweek, 2-game set, maybe if you got an interleague type action. But everything is in series, even the postseason. One-game playoff, anything can happen on any given night. Any team can beat anybody. That's what the Cardinals are going to be looking to do against Max Scherzer. When you look at the MLB.com page, it's going to give you all the names that you're familiar with. You're going to see, in my opinion, we're going to see a lineup. It's not been released as of this morning, but we're going to see a lineup that's very familiar to us. I don't think anything's going to change. So hopefully is available and going to be ready to play. Played a little bit over the weekend against the Cubs. I think he should be your starting shortstop. Everything else should be normal. Edman, Goldschmidt, O'Neill, Arenado, Carlson, Molina, Bader, Sosa. Something in that order, Wainwright to finish it out. Get to Scherzer early. Don't get past the 5th inning or 4th inning and still, if it's past the 5th inning, then you're in trouble, as I mentioned with the ERAs earlier. Past the 5th inning, Scherzer settles down. But when you're looking at this matchup position by position, and they did this based on MLB.com, which is always fascinating to read, but the Cardinals actually had some winners. This is how they broke it down. You can read the article if you want to go more, written by Paul Castella. Will Smith got the edge at catcher, Goldschmidt at first, Turner at second, Seager at short, Arenado at third, O'Neill and Bader in the outfield, Betts and right, Dodgers bullpen, and Dodgers on the mound. I totally get it. I get why on paper this Dodgers team is better, but here's how the Cardinals offense can get it done. Jeff Snyder talked about it yesterday on the crossover, the long ball. With that explosive stuff, every once in a while you might hang one. You might get a cement mixer of a changeup. You might hang a slider, cement mixer of a slider, whatever phrase you want to use. And this Cardinal team can hit the long ball. You got 3 players with 30 more home runs. Those 3 players are going to be key in tonight's game. Zachary Silver also wrote an article about how the defense is going to be key. Lots of content right now on a lot of different areas on this Cardinal team. I think the offense can get it done. You have to be able to learn from the most recent outing that Scherzer made against you back in September. Can't strike out 13 times, and this is so much easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But this offense has the ability to hit some home runs. It's going to be electric. It's going to be exciting. This is, like I talked about with Jeff yesterday, it's another chapter in the Dodgers-Cardinals postseason history books, no matter who wins or loses. This offense is going to have to rely on the long ball. You're not going to be able to string together a lot of base hits against Max Scherzer. You're just not. Can't rely on that. Even if it does happen, and I would love to eat my words on tomorrow's episode and say, well, Cardinals are able to string hits and manufacture runs. The likelihood of that happening seems slim because it is Max Scherzer. Going to have to rely on the long ball. Dodgers might be able to string some hits against Wainwright. Wainwright's going to have to be able to stop the bleeding. I think both these pitchers, even though that they've been around a while, are going to have short hooks from the managerial perspective of things. And when the roster has not been released yet as of the time of this recording, early Wednesday morning, but I would love to see Dakota Hudson on there. I'd love to see Jack Flaherty on there. And I would love one of those two to be the first out of the bullpen if Wainwright gets in any trouble. Can't manage this as if it's a series. You got to manage it like a one-game playoff because that is exactly what it is. The offense is going to need to get to Scherzer in the first 5 innings and rely on the long ball. Tyler O'Neill coming off a Player of the Month. He's on fire. Harrison Bader had a couple nice weeks in the months of September. Paul Goldschmidt had an exceptional second half. Nolan Arenado hitting 34 home runs. He became the first Cardinal with 100 RBIs since Matt Holliday in 2012. This offense, when right, can be pretty scary and can beat any team on any given night. If I'm Ben Kaspek of Locked On Giants right now, I wouldn't want to play, the competitor would obviously want to play the best team and prove the best, but both these teams are scary for different reasons. And whoever moves on is going to have a storylined National League Division Series. Maybe a little bit more if you got Giants and Dodgers, but nevertheless, it's going to be full of intrigue. But the key for the offense is simple. I've said it multiple times. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Get to Scherzer early, and not to aim for the long ball, but I agree with Jeff that if Scherzer is going to struggle, it's going to be because of that long ball. Cardinals have hit some pretty big home runs in Dodger Stadium. Matt Carpenter, Matt Holliday. Those are two that come to mind right away in recent history, recent memory. You go to the regular season, you've got Fernando Tatis Sr. home run to remember. For all the talk we give about, maybe it should be a 3-game series. Maybe it should be more of a series rather than a 1-game or just a winner-take-all. It's intrigue. It is drama. We saw it last night with Boston and New York. It's drama. That's what baseball wants. Cardinals were able to make the playoffs. Once you make the playoffs, anything can happen. Cardinals need to win 12 games. That's what you got to look at it. All you got to do is win 12 of the 17. You just got, and you don't even have to win them in a row this time. Should be easier, right? Being facetious, of course. Nevertheless, point stands. This is whoever scores first. I said this yesterday in the podcast. Whoever scores first might win this game. That's how dominant both of these pitchers are. Whoever scores first might win this game. Might. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but both these pitchers have the chance to go 7, 8, 9 innings. Especially in the postseason, everything's on the line. Going back to the positional breakdown, again, you can read the article for specifics. I was surprised they gave Bader the edge. I know Bellinger's had an atrocious year, but I was still surprised. And I think that this Cardinal bullpen is better than what people give them credit for. I know the numbers aren't always there, but T.J. McFarland, Luis Garcia, Reyes, Gallegos, Cabrera, those 5 could be solid this postseason. They could make a name for themselves this postseason. Let's put it that way. They could absolutely make a name for themselves. We'll see how it goes. Take one last break. I'll give you my prediction. And to be honest with you, I've gone back and forth. I got it written down, scratched out, gone back and forth on my prediction. So I'm going to do this ad read, take a breath, give you my prediction, and then we'll end up with Daniela Bruce and Gordon Beckham from the Locked On Now MLB Insider Special that was on yesterday. Just have you listen or watch the Dodgers Cardinals clip, and we'll see what they have to say for it as well. Before I get to my prediction, though, so I can calm myself when I think about good things. And a good thing is Built Bar. You know why it's good? Because it's delicious, they're healthy, and I can save money. I'll give you all those three information throughout this read. They're delicious. Here are the flavors: coconut, cherry barcia, raspberry, mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, strawberry, orange, cookies and cream, German chocolate. Delicious. Every single one of them. I've got an order of double chocolate on the way. If you haven't tried all the flavors, get yourself a mixed box where you get 2 of each of the 9 flavors. So they're delicious. Also, they're healthy. Check out the macros on these protein bars. 17 to 18 grams of protein. Calories ranging from 130 to 180. 4 to 5 grams of sugar and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. All tasty, all healthy. Built Bar is also the official protein bar of the U.S. track and field team. So I've got your tasty, I've got your healthy. Now I'm going to get you to save money. Go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED15, for 15% off of your order at Built.com. Promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off. Tasty, healthy, save money. Nothing wrong with ordering a Built Bar, so get yourself some Built Bars today. Predicting in baseball is difficult. Whether you're trying to predict a series, a game, an inning, a matchup, anything can happen on any given night. This is a tough one to predict. This is. Dodgers are favored by a 1.5 on BetOnline. I'm not writing off the Cardinals. This is going to be a tough one for the Cardinals to win. Can they do it? Absolutely. I predict, and again, like I said, I've gone back and forth 3 or 4 times. I predict the Cardinals will win. The Cardinals will beat Max Scherzer and the Dodgers and advance to the National League Division Series. How are they going to do that? I've talked about it extensively on this show. Ride the hot streak from September. Be the offense from September. Do not be the offense from June. In fact, it was the Dodgers that started this whole mess back in June. The Cardinals lost 2 out of 3 to them. Be the offense from September. Score in multiple innings. Cannot be satisfied with just a couple runs here and there. Cannot be. This Cardinal team has the chance to knock off a World Series favorite. They're going to do that with the continued September run and September offense, pitching from Adam Wainwright, and their stellar best in the league defense. I predict the Cardinal winner. I've said it. It's on recording. Can't re-record it. We're going with it. That is my prediction for tonight's game. Let me know your prediction. Follow me on Twitter at that's the wrong side if I'm pointing on YouTube. That is my Twitter at LJFastball right there. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at LO_Cardinals. Email the show lockedoncards@gmail.com at any time with any questions you might have. And be sure to make your second listen Locked On Dodgers for a Dodger perspective on tonight's game with Jeff and Vince over there. It's going to be a good game no matter what, but I'm predicting, for better or worse, that the Cardinals get the win tonight. So we're going to finish up the show with Daniela Bruce and Gordon Beckham, former MLB infielder, talking about this Cardinal and Dodger game. They recorded yesterday, so they referenced tomorrow and Red Sox and Yankees a little bit, but we're going to show the last part of that clip. So I hope you enjoy watching and listening. Until I talk to you guys tomorrow, whether it's a win or a loss, enjoy tonight, be safe, stay well, and have a fantastic day.
So you've got an amazing matchup tonight, and tomorrow night we've got the National League wild card, which is the Dodgers and the Cardinals. The Dodgers had a historic season, winning 106 games, but they did fall one shy of the San Francisco Giants on the NL West. And then the St. Louis Cardinals also had a historic win streak at the end of the season. We talked about how great their September was before we got on here, Gordon. They won 17 games in a row down that stretch. Which team is in a better spot heading into this wild card game?
It's really hard to say. When I was doing kind of my research on these two teams, I started with the Cardinals and I looked, I'm like, yeah, I knew about the 17-game win streak. They went 21-2 over that span, I believe, over a 23-day span in September. So when you have like that going, I'm like, well, obviously they have the the leg up to go into this playoffs, and they're hotter. And then I look at the Dodgers; they're 18-3 in their last 21 games. So, as much as I was like, wow, the St. Louis Cardinals are feeling it, and they're going to be going to the playoffs and look really good doing it. I'm not so sure. Both teams are super hot. I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard of two teams being this hot going into the playoffs. I mean, both teams have great lineups, great pitching, but both in terms of hotness, they're both on top of the spectrum in the big leagues right now. They are on fire. I mean, the Dodgers won the season series 4-3, and they split a series recently in St. Louis 2-2. So it's anybody's game. Both these teams, both these matchups are very evenly matched.
Okay, so let's start with talking pitching for this matchup tomorrow. Adam Wainwright will take the mound for St. Louis, and the Dodgers will have Max Scherzer on the mound. How do you see that matchup playing out?
Right. You've got Adam Wainwright, who's like basically the fountain of youth. A couple of years ago, it looked like he was going to leave the game. He just didn't have it. And now he's come back. He's done amazing. He's 17-7 with a 3.05 ERA this season. That's good for anybody, and he's 40 years old. And then you obviously got Max Scherzer. Max pitched to a 2.48 ERA overall, but since he's been in a Dodger uniform, he's at a 1.98 ERA. Mm-hmm. So he is feeling it in Hollywood, and he definitely likes the fact that he's on a different team going to the playoffs. I think that you've got two different dynamics. You've got a guy that's done it a lot more in Wainwright, and you've got a guy that's probably going to win the Cy Young again in Scherzer. And so I think in terms of stuff, I face both these guys. As Wainwright and Molina are a great team, but you've got Scherzer with nasty stuff. So I think stuff always wins in games like this. If Max is on, it's going to be the Dodgers and his pitching that are going to take them where they want to go.
So if either Wainwright or Scherzer are struggling, what is the bullpen strategy in an elimination game?
Yeah, I like the Dodgers set up a little bit more, especially as you get later on in the game. You might even see Luis Urias get into the game, in the bullpen to maybe bridge the gap to get to Trinan and Jansen at the end of the game. I like the fact that the Dodgers have those guys in place. The Cardinals have had a little bit of a swinging door in their bullpen. They've had a couple of different guys closing, and lately they've had Cabrera, I believe, doing most of the saving. Gallegos. And so with that swinging door, there's a little bit of uncertainty. So I like the fact that the Dodgers bullpen is basically set up the way they want to. They've had it going on for a while, and both those guys at the end of the Dodger bullpen are absolutely nasty. I've faced them both, and I don't want to face them both. There's a reason I'm retired and sitting here talking to you about it, because they are just really good. It's guys like that got me out of the league.
So obviously the Dodgers have to take care of business tomorrow night, but how hard will it be for that team not to look past the Cardinals and onto the Giants, who awaits the winner?
The fact that the Dodgers have won 106 games and they're going to go play in a one-game playoff is just amazingly crazy to me. I just don't even understand it. That is an amazing season. Any other year, they probably have the best record in the big leagues, and here they are fighting for their life. No, I think that it's a tough blow for them, because they're going to then have to set up their pitching. Scherzer, my guess is if they do win, that he's not going to be able to throw game one, whenever that is. But I think it's all part of like what they didn't beat the Giants. So them not beating the Giants and basically puts them in this position. I like everything they have going on. They're stacked lineup, very good, special teams, but definitely want to see like what happens in this game, because this game is basically a marquee matchup with teams that are basically storied franchises, and so it's going to be just an awesome battle in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited for both of these matchups that we've talked about, Gordon. One final question for you. Give us your prediction. Is it going to be the Cardinals or is it going to be the Dodgers?
Yeah, I like the Dodgers. I think that they're too good. As hot as the Cardinals have been, the Dodgers, like I said earlier, have been just as hot. So when you have two teams that are that hot, then you just go on who's had the better year, right? Well, the Dodgers have been better. They've been 16 games better, which is not a small feat in a season of 162 games. So I like the Dodgers, Max Scherzer. I do like the fact that it is going to be a toe-to-toe game, but and I think it's going to go deep into the game. But the Dodgers are going to find a way to pull this out, and then they're going to go battle their NL West foes and the Giants up in the Bay.
Well, Gordon, I know what you and I are going to be doing tonight and tomorrow night. Thank you so much for joining us to preview what is going to be a great couple of nights of baseball.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Look forward to it.
All right. And thank you all for tuning in. From insider analysis to local experts, check out your local Locked On podcast for more. Locked On, your team every day.